Welcome to the Post Sports Chat. I'm Drew Rubenstein. I'm with Ed Owens, and Ed, we're a couple days away from WVU's trip to Kansas State, and one of the big storylines kind of going into this game, I think, is all the unknowns with Kansas State. They've had a bye week. In their last game, though, two of their better receivers, Tyler Lockett and Tremaine Thompson, didn't play. They've been kind of going back and forth with quarterbacks like WVU. How difficult does that make things for WVU's defense?
You mentioned the quarterbacks there. I think that is definitely going to be the focus. At least that's one of the things we were talking about with the players and coaches on Tuesday night. They have to prepare for two different guys. Jake Waters is more of a drop-back passer and stronger that way. Daniel Sams is more of a dual-threat run first quarterback, leading the team in rushing. So, I mean, they do have to prepare for two really different styles of play. They don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. They're not sure who's going to start for Kansas State. Dana said they're preparing for Sams, but it's really going to be up in the air. They're going to have to adjust on the fly in that game.
You mentioned Sams, and it seems like just based upon their last couple of games that seems to be the direction that they're going, and he's known as a runner first. But is he a liability in the pass game, or does he have the abilities to make a few throws as well?
Yeah, he's shown the ability to make some throws. I mean, he has a good arm. It's decision making. That's the problem he's gotten himself into, and it's a lot of late in games pressure situations. He's thrown a couple costly picks for them. But you are right. They have kind of emphasized Sams more lately, and they are giving him the opportunity to throw. So I think Dana's on the right track. If there's a guy to prepare for this week, it's him.
WVU's defense as a whole, too, you just have to wonder their state of mind. First 5 games played well above any level that they ever reached last season, but then the last 2 games, it kind of makes you wonder if they're reverting back to their 2012 selves. What is the defensive state of mind as you've talked to them and after 2 weeks of getting blown out?
They want to get back to where they were. The big emphasis for them has been get back to where we were the first 5 games, not where we've been the last 2 games. I think they're going to try to compartmentalize what's been going on, just say it's in the past. Baylor has been doing that to everybody, and really Texas Tech was just a struggle for them. So I think they feel like they can put it behind them and move forward, and they're really looking forward to getting the opportunity to do that this weekend.
Is it maybe just a matter of them being a good defense and not elite? Maybe they played the top 2 offenses in the Big 12 and they couldn't quite stack up, but you put them up against the rest of the league and maybe they can hold their own?
Yeah, and especially against the running quarterbacks, the dual-threat quarterbacks. Dana mentioned it Tuesday. They have had success doing that. They did well against Oklahoma State. They did well against Maryland. Even the final score didn't reflect it. They did pretty well defensively in that game. So they've been able to contain running quarterbacks, and it's something they're really hoping they can continue to prove again against Kansas State this week.
One of the things that Dana Holgorsen also mentioned in his weekly press conference on Tuesday was that he thinks both teams are better than their records. Would you agree with that?
I would say for sure I believe Kansas State is better than their record. They've played, just like WVU, they've played some of the toughest teams in the Big 12, but they've had better results in those games. They held Baylor pretty close. They played Oklahoma State close. They played Texas close. They've shown an ability to hang with those teams, whereas WVU played Baylor and obviously got blown out in that game. So I'd say Kansas State is definitely better than the 2-4 record that they're showing right now. WVU has to prove still that they're better than that 3-4 mark.
And they're kind of running out of time. You have to wonder, is a situation where the loser is in a lot worse shape than the winner being in a great shape by coming out of this game. If the coaches and players always talk about taking it 1 game at a time, but if you get the 5 losses this early in the season, it's going to be tough to battle back.
Absolutely, and that was one of the questions for the players Tuesday night was, how do you guys handle this? Are you looking to get a win against Kansas State, or are you already thinking, man, we need 3 wins to get to a bowl game? And everyone is saying they're putting all their chips on Kansas State right now. They need to get this win. They're going to try to take it 1 game at a time. I know that's coach speak, but that's really their philosophy right now. They feel like this is the most important game of the season for them, and they need to come out with a win to set themselves up for the rest of the way.
Okay, last one, Ed. If there's a key to the game, something to watch out for that you think WVU has to do well, something they have to flip the table on Kansas State, what's one key to the game for this one?
We've talked a lot about the defense and what they need to do. I think offensively the key for them is going to be to run the ball. It's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster for this offense running the ball. Baylor was unsuccessful running the ball against Kansas State, so it's obviously going to be a tough task for WVU, but they really need to do it. I think every week we say establish the run, and it's always the biggest question mark for them right now is if they can get that push up front and establish the line of scrimmage instead of being pushed back. that's really going to be the key for WVU's offense.
All right, very good. Appreciate it, Ed. And please continue to check thedpost.com. Ed and I will be in Manhattan, Kansas for Saturday's game. Thanks for watching today.